Before empires rose, before nations fought, and before history was even recorded, there was a story that tried to explain how it all began. Whether you view it through the lens of faith, literature, or ancient history, the book of Genesis is one of the most influential stories ever written. It's an epic tale of cosmic creation, tragic betrayal, world-ending catastrophes, and family drama so intense it rivals any modern TV show. So grab your favorite drink, and let's dive into the story of Genesis. It all starts in pitch blackness. Out of nothingness, God speaks the cosmos into existence: light, sky, oceans, land, and life. At the peak of creation are two humans, Adam and Eve, placed in a perfect paradise called the Garden of Eden. They have total freedom, with only one rule: don't eat from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Enter the serpent. With a few subtle whispers, he convinces Eve and then Adam to break the rule. Instantly, perfection shatters. Guilt and shame enter the world, and humanity is cast out of paradise, and things spiral downward fast. Adam and Eve's firstborn son, Cain, murders his own brother Abel out of pure jealousy. Fast forward a few generations, and human corruption becomes so widespread that God decides to hit the ultimate reset button. Enter Noah, the one righteous man left. God instructs him to build a massive ark to save his family and pairs of every animal. The floods come, the old world vanishes, and when the waters recede, God puts a rainbow in the sky, a promise to never flood the entire earth again. But humanity hasn't changed. Shortly after, people gather at Babel to build a skyscraper-sized tower to prove they don't need God. The result? God confuses their languages on the spot, scattering them across the globe. After Babel, Genesis shrinks its scope. Instead of looking at the whole world, the narrative focuses on one single family. God calls an elderly man named Abram, later renamed Abraham, and gives him an audacious promise. Leave your home. Go to a land I'll show you, and I will make your family into a great nation that will bless the entire world. There's just one massive problem. Abraham is 75, and his wife Sarah is barren. Decades pass. Doubts creep in. They make mistakes along the way, but against all biological odds. When Abraham is 100 and Sarah is 90, they have a son named Isaac. Isaac's birth proves the promise is real, but Abraham's faith faces one final, terrifying test when God asks him if he's willing to sacrifice Isaac. At the absolute last second, an angel stops Abraham, providing a ram in the thicket instead. The covenant is sealed. Isaac grows up and has twin sons, Esau, a rugged hunter, and Jacob, a master strategist. Jacob lives up to his name, which roughly translates to trickster. He tricks his foolish brother Esau out of his birthright for a bowl of stew, and later disguises himself to trick his blind father into giving him the family blessing. Fearing Esau will kill him, Jacob flees into exile. For years, Jacob experiences a dose of his own medicine, getting tricked by his father-in-law. But on his journey back home to face Esau, something wild happens. A divine figure meets Jacob in the night, and they physically wrestle until dawn. Jacob refuses to let go until he receives a blessing. God renames him Israel, meaning one who strives with God. Jacob walks away with a limp, but also with a new identity. He fathers 12 sons, who will become the famous 12 tribes of Israel. That brings us to the final chapter of Genesis, the story of Joseph. Joseph is Jacob's undisputed favorite son, signaled by a legendary multicolored coat. His jealous brothers can't stand it. So they jump him, throw him down a dry well, and sell him into Egyptian slavery, telling their father he was killed by wild animals. In Egypt, Joseph's life is a roller coaster. He's betrayed, falsely accused, and thrown into prison for years. But Joseph has a unique gift. He can interpret dreams. When Pharaoh has a disturbing dream about 7 fat cows eaten by 7 skinny cows, Joseph correctly predicts 7 years of abundance followed by 7 years of severe famine. Impressed, Pharaoh makes Joseph the second most powerful man in Egypt. When the famine hits, guess who comes to Egypt begging for food? The very brothers who sold him. Instead of taking revenge, Joseph breaks down in tears and forgives them, saying one of the most famous lines in ancient literature, "You intended to harm me, but God intended it for good." Genesis ends with Jacob's entire family reunited, surviving, and settled in Egypt. And that is the book of Genesis. It starts in a garden with humanity losing everything and ends in Egypt with a family finding restoration. It sets the stage for the entire rest of the biblical story. What was your favorite chapter or story from Genesis? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed the breakdown and subscribe for more.